Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Frances Crevier. I'm First Nations Algonquin, and I'm the CEO for the National Council of Urban Indian Health, the national organization in DC who fights for urban Indian health care. Welcome to our Native American Heritage Month virtual powwow celebration. This year has been full of surprises, and to say the least, here at Nakui, we have been busy. Our teams have worked hard all year to identify how to fill the gaps that the federal government has left and to provide urban Indian organizations, or UIOs, the funding and access to healthcare that they so desperately need, since UIOs are tasked with serving over 70% of the American Indian and Alaska Native population currently living off the reservation. For a few of the accomplishments this year, we were able to advocate for the inclusion of urban Indians in all COVID-19 funding packages and healthcare bills, including getting $111 million in funding for prevention of COVID-19 and trainings for Native healthcare workers on the front lines to combat the pandemic within our own communities. We kicked off the Get Out the Vote and census efforts, which contributed to the overwhelming turnout for the Native vote for the 2020 presidential election. So with the local and state government limiting gatherings of people to combat the ongoing pandemic, American Indian and Alaska Native populations are becoming ill in a unique way due to their lack of access to cultural ceremonies. We also want to honor those who have passed and families who are still struggling. As Native people, our culture plays a huge role in our overall well-being and healing. Participating in our songs, dance, and ceremony is our medicine and part of our healing process. In the coming months, we will be hosting a community learning series focused on mental health and wellness for the urban Indian youth, including a New Year's cleanse. But right now, we want to take this time to even provide the smallest chance of a break, take a breath, and reconnect to our roots. As a Native health organization, our job isn't only to advocate, provide resources, and information. We have the responsibility to provide the cultural healing of our people in mind. There are many aspects to Native health, and we hope we can provide a connection for our urban Indians facing isolation. We want to thank our volunteers for understanding these needs and for their willingness to come together virtually to bring us this time of reflection on Native American Heritage Month and 2020. I hope this live stream brings optimism and positivity into your homes as we start to head into the winter months. That said, thank you again for taking the time to stop by and for joining our very first virtual powwow. I would like to introduce our opening prayer song singer, Xander, who is with his family right now in Washington, D.C. Take it away, Xander.
Ate, ate, nami chihungo. Ate, ate, nami chihungo. Ayoy. Kaizang, dori wani wani pig. Ate, ate, nami chihungo. Ate, ate, nami chihungo. Ayoy.
Giovanna Skinnehay, welcome everyone to the Nakui Virtual Urban Indian Powwow. My name is Keith Colston and I'm serving as your Master of Ceremonies today. It is indeed an honor and thank you, Nyahweh, to all of the individuals, the organizers for bringing all of us together to help celebrate here for the month of November, for some of us, American Indian Heritage Month, others, National Native American Alaska Native Heritage Month. But the point is, folks, is that we're here to celebrate and have a great time. And we've got some great individuals who are going to help teach, explain, showcase, represent, as we like to say here in the urban settings, represent who we are. Folks, it's, again, always a pleasure and honor to serve as a speaker here for so many great individuals. And when I say speaker, in reference to being an MC here for this event and other events as well up and down the East Coast. We have some great individuals who are going to be presenting the various styles of dancing that you would normally see at various gatherings, celebrations, non-competition and competition powwows that take place all over Turtle Island, all over the United States, Canada. And so once again, very thankful to everyone who's helping out here today. Before we go any further, I'd like to talk a little bit about what we call land acknowledgement. This is where we show respect to the area of the country that we're in, visiting, to the indigenous peoples of that area. And we're talking about the Susquehannock. We're talking about the Manahoac. And we are referring to the Piscataway. These are the individuals, especially the Piscataway, that I'm aware of personally, that the DC area happens to be the traditional hunting ground of this tribe. And we know in 2012 that they were provided state recognition through the Maryland Indian process that the Maryland Commission on Indian Affairs has a specific hand in. And so we want to acknowledge the Piscataway Indian Nation, the Piscataway Conoy tribe, those communities that are part of those two tribal groups that received state recognition in 2012. And so again, paying respect as we normally do amongst our native peoples in reference to the things that have occurred, the people that we come in contact with, the people that we speak of as well. So that's just some of the things that you can get a hand of or listen, and more than anything else that you feel from our celebrations as a visitor or any of our native people who travel to one powwow to the next. What I'd like to do at this time, ladies and gentlemen, is to acknowledge also, folks, the situations that we're all going through, native and non-native, our brothers and sisters, not only throughout the United States, but of course, people all around the world. And we're talking about the coronavirus, COVID-19, and that this is definitely affected, so many, the masses, ladies and gentlemen. It's definitely affected our tribal communities. And we want to send our thoughts and prayers out to everyone who's directly and indirectly is facing this situation. And, we all partake in helping to rectify and try to keep this terrible virus at bay. And so you'll find that with our dancers here today, that many of them wearing their masks, they are social distancing as well. And we definitely want to, keep that in the minds of anyone and everyone. With that being said, that we are celebrating still who we are from a cultural standpoint. And as long as the people are here, the culture will be here. As long as the culture is here, the people will be here. And so, it's a very balanced situation. That's something that I truly believe in and that I've been taught that, balance exists in everything. And you'll definitely see that from the dancing, how it relates to the music. We know that there is a balance between those two situations that take place, coinciding with each other. And this is what you'll see, you'll hear, and more than anything, hopefully that you will feel as well. So let's get started here, folks, with our first presenter. I'd like to introduce our jingle dress dancer, Mary Heather Dismuke. And I just want to say to all of our presenters, all of our great dancers, if I mess up your name, don't hate me. Don't kick me too bad next time you see me. I'm one of those guys where sometimes I can butcher a name a little bit, and that's one thing I'm definitely known for. Maybe not the best thing, but definitely something I'm known for. So again, my apologies and any of the mispronunciations here. I'm sure they'll clean it up here in the virtual world and that side. So let's keep it rolling here. She's an enrolled member of the Quapaw Nation and has been dancing in the Power Arena for a little over 10 years. Now, her favorite style of dancing, folks, is a old style jingle. And Heather was given her first dress shortly after she married her husband, Stephen, who is an enrolled member of the Rosebud Sioux tribe. The Creator has blessed her with two beautiful boys, Morgan and Marcus, who also inspire her to dance and pray for others. Currently, Heather works for her tribe in Quapaw, Oklahoma as the Business Committee Executive Secretary. She holds a bachelor's in Arts and American Indian Studies from Haskell Indian Nations University and her master's in Public Administration and Tribal Governance from Evergreen State College. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to now present to you Ladies Jingle. Take it away. Folks, again, what an incredible job. Thank you for that presentation, for that sharing, your style. Again, Mary, Heather, we really appreciate that. Folks, just to think a little bit about the ladies' jingle. You know, as you watched her move about, you notice again the controlled movements that were taking place, how she held her hand on her side. And again, the sound of those cones as she would dance to the beat of the drum. And some of the things that what people might not understand when they first come to a powwow gathering or understand about our dancing in general is that, you know, there are rules that we pay attention to. And one of those rules is to stay with the beat of the drum. The second rule, of course, is to maintain a specific style of movement pertaining to your style of dancing. Our ladies' jingle having a very distinct movement, whereas our ladies' traditional having another. And so again, each one being very unique from one to the next. Our third rule is that the honor beats, those very hard strikes that you hear in the music, those are a time that you might see our ladies' jingle bring their fan up in the air and acknowledge those drum beats, acknowledge the song, a way of saying thank you to the singers for the song itself, and the ability to be out there and dance. And so again, there's our certain components to the song that we acknowledge through our movements and perhaps even through the sounds of our dancers as well, perhaps our war cries from our traditional men. So you'll see that, again, there's a very unique way to move, but also to acknowledge certain areas of the song as well. And then the last beat of the song, unfortunately, we had some technical difficulties there with the video, and they'll clean that up and do what they need to do. But again, what an excellent job by this young lady. And our ladies' jingle, that style of dancing is considered a traditional style of dancing, but more so a spiritual style of dancing. It is meant to bring healing to a situation, to a person that is brought to the knowledge or to the knowledge of the powwow or to the individuals. Many times when we find out that there's a great sickness or something going on, that we'll ask these jingle dress dancers to come out, and instead of wearing their plumes or any feathers, they basically come out there again just with the dress and move about in a particular way, and particular songs, specific songs are sung during this time. So just want to give all of our individuals who are watching this that, you know, there are specific songs that are sung for specific reasons or situations, amenities that are going on in the arena for a situation. Just like there are songs that are sung for our ceremonies, there are songs sung for our intertribals, our socials. There are songs sung for our exhibitions, and there are songs sung for the contest. So there are a variety of songs that are utilized, a variety of singing groups that again, help us out and to showcase and make the powwow what it is. And to be honest with you folks, you know, without our singers, the powwow just wouldn't be able to take place, the dancing and the way that we, again, do what we do and how we do it. So again, just to give you a little bit of acknowledgement of the ladies' jingle, and also a reference to the music, the drum, the components of the song. And that's what we're here to do as individuals who are on the microphone, you know, hopefully give a good understanding of what it is people are looking at. You know, there's also those specific stories that talk about, you know, how these dances came about. And with our ladies' jingle, speaking how a young lady fell ill, and some people will say that in reference to her grandfather, some people say her uncle. You know, it's those stories that travel from one community to the next, and how these dances came about. But the young lady fell ill, and you know, she was instructed to wear this style of dress, and when she did so, to move in a particular way. Others say that there, you know, some of their stories they share with about this dance, how there were 4 ladies that were asked to move in a particular way and wear this dress and dance to this particular song. And when they did so, you know, this young lady was healed. And so therefore, once again, you know, how you travel about throughout Indian country and how some of these dances have come to the people, whether it be those in the Canadian areas, or whether it be those in the Lakota areas amongst the Sioux people. So as you travel from one powwow to the next and you come across a variety of our people, you know, it's really good to ask them in a very respectful manner if you want to inquire about, you know, the songs, the dances, and the outfits, the clothing, the regalias that are worn by by the people. That's a good way to do it, is just to, be respectful. A lot of times we say, carry that tobacco and give that tobacco when you have a question or when you can gain knowledge from someone. So that's, again, sprinkling in just a couple of things that we're taught from our customs and our traditions, and also on that red road, that we travel, how we are sharing our thoughts and ideas and our customs and traditions with each other, and how this continues to go from one tribe to the next. So that pan-Indianism that we sometimes talk about. So a little bit of, again, information for our visitors who are with us here today. Folks, at this time, talking about the drums and the music and the components and all of that, it gives me an opportunity to introduce an incredible individual who's going to be assisting with many of the songs that are sung here today, especially for our traditional dancers. And so I'd like to introduce to you folks Mr. Lance Fisher. He's a proud member of the Northern Cheyenne Nation of Montana. His Cheyenne name, when translated into English, means medicine bear, and he is a proud veteran of the United States Marine Corps Reserve. He sings, ladies and gentlemen, to honor traditions and inspire youth and to celebrate life. Lance has done an excellent job at representing our kind of DC tribe, as we like to say, by first singing for the Standing Rock Youth Respect and Our Water campaign, where youth ran over 2,000 miles from Cannonball, North Dakota to Washington, D.C. in opposition of the Dakota Access Pipeline. Recently, he sang for many Native American Heritage Month virtual celebrations, as we're like what we're doing here today, across the DC, Virginia, and Maryland region. With Lance, he's going to be providing some songs here for two of our special guest presenters. Folks, making some proper introductions here of our dancers. We have with us Miss Giovanna, who is a citizen of the Oglala Lakota Nation and Northern Peruvian descent. Giovanna's Oglala side of the family is originally from the Medicine Root district of Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. Her Peruvian side of the family is from the Department of Lumbee, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Giovanna is an advocate for youth, promoting and keeping the culture, language, dancing, and history of our people for centuries to come, folks. So again, we're very appreciative that she can join us as a representative of a style of dancing we call ladies traditional. Now, ladies traditional, there are a variety of ways that, once again, our ladies who participate in that particular style may dress, the type of beadwork, the type of cloth work, the type of patchwork, or the type of feather work that they utilize. The types of feathers, the types of beads, and the designs are very distinctive depending upon where you're from. From the moccasins that someone wears to the types of feathers that they will or will not use can really tell you a lot about the individual. We think about the style of movement of our ladies traditional, very calm, at the same time very dignified in each and every step. There is a bending of the knees that do occur, but also keeping the back straight. Not a lot of movement of the shoulders or the lower part of the body, but more of an up and down motion and keeping with the beat of the drum. They maintain to the four basic rules that I talked about earlier. It's just that the way that they do it, folks, is very unique, again, from any of the other style of dancers, like our ladies Jingle or our ladies fancy shawl. We think about our ladies' traditional way that they have those shawls draped over their arm on the left or the right, depending upon the dancer. And then, of course, the way they carry their fans and the way they signify to the drum during those honor beats. If you're Northern style, they'll pick their fans up in the air. And if they are Southern style, they have a bending down motion towards the middle of the arena during those honor beats and during Southern style singing. And once again, when I talked about a variety of styles of songs that fit the amenities and the situations going on in the arena, so too is the case when it comes to our ladies traditional and the type of songs that they may get. They may get what we call a straight song, which of course what Lance will be singing, and then they may get something like a round dance song that will allow them to again showcase their knowledge and their understanding of the songs that are being sung and the type of drum beats that are being played as well. And so there's a lot of expertise that goes into our dancers and what they're doing. Maybe a short period of time that you witness their exhibitions or their contest songs, but believe me, there's years of experience that goes behind that. So again, we're very appreciative of her being here today and showcasing what we refer to as ladies traditional dancing. You'll find, folks, that as our ladies traditional is representing her style, we have with us a gentleman that I've known for a very long time and always enjoyed his company inside the arena and around it, and the many other things that we've done in reference to Indian affairs, as we like to call it. So at this time, folks, I'd like to introduce to you Mr. Michael Nephew, who is a citizen of the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians and Seneca Cayuga descent. He is a traditional dancer. He's a retired computer programmer, having worked as a programmer for fire services and Native American consultants, and worked as a curriculum developer and training coordinator for the Institute for the Development of Indian Law. He had previously worked as a community manpower planner for Hawaiian Council of American Indian Nations and the United Indian Planners Association. It's a mouthful, right, folks? But again, you can tell that very much involved, not only in one particular area, but in a variety of others with a variety of people. He's a past president of the American Indian Society of Washington, D.C., AIS, as well as the American Indian Intertribal Cultural Organization. He was also secretary of the board of Capitol Hill Arts Workshop. He is involved in performing video arts and has worked with Fairfax Cable Access Channel, Native American TV, Capitol Hill Arts Workshop, Contemporary Arts Theater Company, again, just incredibly involved with a variety of people, as well as other theatrical companies that could be mentioned. So we're very thankful that he could take his time out of his very, very busy schedule. Even though he's retired, he still stays active. But we're thankful that he can showcase his style of dancing to all of us. And we think about men's Northern traditional, folks. That is a style of dance that, once again, depending upon where you're at, it really will define your regalia, your clothing, what you'll be wearing, to signify to the area of the country that you're from, the type of animals you would have hunted long ago, or even still today, depending upon where you're at and how fortunate you are in that particular location. You'll notice that the type of headgear that is worn by him would be the type of headgear that would be either worn by those of his particular tribe or his particular society. And the item that he wears on his back, sometimes whether he's dancing old style Northern or Northern traditional dancing, or he could be participating in his Iroquois style dancing. That again, with Northern traditional dancing, wearing that bustle, that feathered bustle on the back, made of many, many eagle feathers and designed in a particular way, depending upon the dancer and what he wants to showcase to the people who look upon him. And also the type of leather that is used by our dancers to create their bridge cloths, their leggings, those who choose to wear a shirt that might represent, once again, a particular society or a particular time period amongst our people, dealing with the contact or conflict and the trading that went on with Europeans and other individuals who came to our land and this Turtle Island. So you see that when our dancers are wearing their regalias, they can really be showcasing to you a time period. They could be showcasing to you the things that were traded, and they could be also showcasing to you the things that would be in their particular area that would accentuate their clothing and the regalia that they have on. So much taking place in a short period of time, or so much being shown to you without words, but again through the items that we're wearing as Indian people, as the indigenous people of this land. So we just want to say thank you to, once again, Michael, and say thank you to Giovanna for, again, presenting your style of dancing here today, and for all of us who are viewing. So with that being said, take it away, Lance. Oh, that's some fine singing to go along with that fine dancing here by, again, our three presenters. As Lance, sitting there, or should I say standing there more so, I'm the one sitting, but, with Lance standing there with his hand drum, a lot of times when, we have individuals who are able to help us out and with their hand drums, that's exactly what it is. It's a drum that you're able to hold in your hand. When you go to our powwows, as soon as we get over all this, coronavirus situation, which we know that we will, when you go to our gatherings and our celebrations, whether it be a competition or non-competition event, you've got these 10, 12, 14 guys sitting around a drum, all singing in unison with each other. And when we can't have that situation, like what we're in now with this, the social distancing and so forth, we're really thankful we got people like Lance, who can take those hand drums and share these songs with people, whether it's, social distancing and, the way that we are in a virtual manner, or whether it's, being able to provide some assistance like with our two dancers here, our women's traditional and men's traditional. So that hand drum, once again, is such a vital part of who we are and what we're about. It represents that heartbeat that we all have inside of us, and it makes it really easy to be able to talk about it. Whether you're holding a microphone, or you're just standing around talking with people and sharing our culture with our non-native friends who don't know really a lot about who we are and what we're about, but also being able to showcase the uniquenesses of these songs. We talked about northern and southern style dancing. And depending upon, when you're a lady and out there dancing in a traditional manner and how you might move that fan. But it's also about the type of singing that takes place too. So, when you've got northern style singing, a very high pitch and a much more of a heartbeat sound or a rapid heartbeat, that you utilized with your drum beater to create that drum beat. And then when you've got that southern style, it's really deep, just as strong as northern, but a much deeper tone, much more of a straight beat in reference to southern style drumming. So you see, there's so much to be talked about when it comes to our culture and why we are moving about and doing what we're doing, depending upon the music we're listening to, and once again, what's going on in that circle, what the arena director wants to see happen, and what the master of ceremonies will share with everyone over the microphone and get out to not only our dancers but to our visiting spectators. And like you are here today, folks, visiting with us, taking your time to check out this virtual powwow. And we're just really thankful that once again the promoters of this event are able to help us out with. So again, the music, the hand drum, and the dancing, all moving together to creating that sight that is before you here today. So once again, just can't say it enough. Thank you, Lance, and thank you to our traditional dancers, men and women being represented here. And we're going to keep it moving, folks, and move right on into our next special presentation here. And as we said, moving on into our next presentation, we're very pleased to have this young lady with us. We're now going to head a little north, as we like to say, north to Maryland. And we have Miss Angela Gladue, who's going to be joining us. When we think about special presentations, this is normally something we'll talk about at a powwow when either our dancers are sort of getting a break and really keeping the crowd involved. And we do this through what we call our hoop dancers. And so with Miss Gladue, she is also known as a Cree and Greek mother, dancer, beadwork artist, and Frog Lake First Nations in the northern Alberta region of Canada. She started her cultural dancing at the age of 6 and continued her dance career as a hip-hop artist actually from 2003 to today. She has been invited to perform, teach, and speak in many different countries around the globe. Of course, pre-pandemic, toured as one of the lead dancers for a tribe called Red, nationally known, worldwide known, of course. And then she worked recently, featured at the Space Gallery in Toronto, Ontario, in an exhibition called Thunderstruck, Physical Landscapes, which was also presented at the Canada Council of the Arts Gallery. To list a few accomplishments, folks, she's choreographed and performed at the 2017 Juno Awards, won first place at the Canadian Hip Hop Championships, and took home the bronze in the World Hip Hop Championship with her crew, the Fly Girls. She's also a recipient of the 2015 Chief David Crowchild Memorial Youth Award. So again, we have incredible performers, but we have award-winning presenters as well. Not only that, folks, let me point out that in reading and providing you that short bio, is that our people are involved in mainstream society just like everyone else. And that's something that we also want to point out to all of you. They are extremely successful inside the circle and also outside the circle, involved in their cultural world and just as successful on the outside or in other aspects of the world that we all live in. So, folks, I'm once again, very thankful to be able to present this special presenter to you. And when I say presenter, really just an all-around incredible entertainer and educator. And that's how I'd like to put that, my own little spin on that. So we're going to ask her to, again, present what is more so known as one of the more difficult dances of any of our people. And we think about, taking these hoops and what she will do in creating a variety of designs that can be seen in nature or perhaps the things around us in the modern world. We think about how those hoops she will pick up with her feet and then taking them. And, when she creates these designs, constantly moving, constantly keeping in pace and keeping up with the beat of the drum. So you can tell that not only is there a lot of expertise involved, there's a lot of energy that is exerted as well. We think about how this dance came about from to different people as well. And some of them, referring to this as a way and a dance of healing. It was also a dance, again, that to showcase, your experience and your dexterity and your agility as well. These are all things that are gifts from the Creator to us in a physical manner. And this is really many times why people get out there and dance the way that they do. Like myself and others, it's like a prayer in motion. And whenever we're dancing, that's our opportunity to give thanks back to the Creator for what we're able to do physically and how we feel socially and mentally, and that spiritual blessing that comes about through our dancing as well. And I'm sure when you get the opportunity to have a one-on-one conversation with this incredible presenter, Angela, I'm sure she'll be able to express in her own words how her dancing makes her feel, and also to give you a better understanding what it feels to her personally to be involved in such a dance. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, again, our native hoop dancer.
Northern Creek, welcome us to
my goodness, folks. I tell you what, wherever you're at, virtually, put your hands up in the air, put your hands together, stomp your feet, and let's make some serious noise for a phenomenal artist. Angela, thank you once again. You know, that hoop dance presentation, world class indeed. We just want to say, Yahweh, thank you once again for being with us and showcasing your talent in what we refer to as the most difficult style of dancing amongst Indian people. And that, of course, is our hoop dance. Well, folks, we're going to be taking it back here to close out the Nakui Virtual Urban Indian Powwow. We go back to Washington, D.C. to Xander, who is with his parents from the D.C. rooftop here. You know, Xander is a descendant of the Oglala, Lakota, Peruvian, and Bolivian nation. Even at a young age of 6, he is learning his native languages and traditional songs to inspire his peers. Xander is currently learning 3 languages in addition to English, ladies and gentlemen. Yahweh. Thank you, Xander, for that beautiful closing song. Again, you are an inspiration to your generation and to us as people. You know, to know that our languages and our ways are safe with people like you. And again, carrying on these things. You know, we think about the 4 generations back, 4 generations forward, 7 generations back, 7 generations forward. Concept, idea, and belief. You know, all those types of words that people use. And with this young man, you know, it's really good to know that how he's being brought up, for one, but then, you know, to see and to feel what he's doing, folks. And you know, to bring somewhat of a close to what we've done here today, you know, this is what it's about. It's the involvement of our elders. It's the involvement of our future generations, our young people. And it's the involvement of those of us who work behind the scenes, such as the sponsors and the promoters and the people who work so hard to bring these individuals together. It's the utilization of not only present day technology, but it's also in reference to what makes us who we are, the cultures, traditions, the songs, those traditional items that we use to, you know, continuously represent those aspects of who we are. And when I say aspects, you know, it's just not one aspect, ladies and gentlemen. It's a multitude of things that really do make us who we are. You know, the indigenous people of North America, that makes us, you know, our clans, our societies, and our bands. And what makes us, you know, our tribal affiliations, whether it be Cheyenne or Cayuga or Tuscarora or Lumbee, and the many, of course, tribal communities throughout the United States and wherever they're at. So for us, there's so much, and this is why when we're given just a little bit of time or an entire weekend to showcase who we are, you know, we're going to continue to take advantage of that opportunity. And when we can do so physically, and not just 3 or 4 of us or 5, but, you know, 500 of us or 1,000 of us at one spot or one place. That's what we're going to do when we're given that opportunity once again, and the Creator sees it fit for us to do so. And until then, folks, we'll continue to do what we've done here today. Come to you virtually and present to you people who love doing what they do, and do it because not just because they love it, because it's a responsibility. You know, when we have this type of teaching, we have this type of knowledge, to hold it to ourselves, that's just not our way. You know, we continue to share it and hope it grows and hope it will touch other people in the best way possible. And that's what my hope is for everyone who's been viewing, and that it touches you in a good way, and it inspires you, it motivates you, it makes you want to grow. in those good ways, and to be able to take that and just give it to someone else. So once again, Yahweh, thank you for allowing myself and all of the other people, great people, all of us coming together to make this event happen. So never a goodbye, but always a see you later. Let's go, guy. Jigwas.